So I wanted to recap my day because I made a few mistakes trading today. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions, and just like I've recapped my green days, I want to make sure that I recap my red days. I really hope that you learned something new, and hopefully you can learn from my mistake to not make it the same in the future for yourself. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into this. SMCI was the stock that I decided to short today. I walked away with $4,100 in the red. Yesterday, I had a very significant day shorting SMCI. When it aggressively ended up selling off, I walked away with $12,800 in the green when I shorted SMCI yesterday. Now, today was not as giving, but it was just extremely frustrating because I had every reason to make money today. I had the perfect setup. I mean, if you really think about it, it was a textbook setup where I could have either just bought into the dips anytime that SMCI pulled on back. I could buy into the dips and sell into the highs. I had a very common resistance range across the board. So we can call that resistance range right around, 422 flat or 423 if I wanted to be more aggressive, and a very common support range. It was an ascending moving average, right? I found it support. So I could short, and that was the main thing that I was focusing on, right? So the initial sell-off, when it sold off, it offered about 3%. That initial sell-off I could have not predicted. I like to wait for patterns to present themselves. But I made such a terrible mistake, such a simple mistake, and it cost me thousands of dollars today. And again, I know that I'm not the only one that makes these mistakes, but I just want to highlight it. How many times have you entered a trade where it's impulsive, where if you would have just given it a little bit more time, you would have realized that, wow, that was a terrible, terrible entry. And then you don't end up cutting losses as soon as you want to. You then begin to revenge trade and overtrade, and you dig yourself into a deeper and a deeper and a deeper hole. With that being said, it would have been very easy for me to look at previous patterns, previous resistance. I see the new setup. I see that it's testing the same resistance, and then on the retracement, I could have easily made money shorting. A 2.4% move would have been amazing for me. 2.4%, I trade with over $200,000. I mean, that within itself would have made me over $4,000. And it wasn't just one opportunity that I would have had, right? The first one, I would have never shorted it because I didn't know that's where the resistance was going to be. I didn't know that's where the support was going to be. I like to wait for the picture to present itself. Then it ran back up again. It pulled on back, another 1.4%. It ran back up again. I would have opened short. I could have easily retraced down to the moving average. That would have been a little bit more aggressive, but it was it was clear as day that there was a solid horizontal resistance and ascending support. So first off, should I have shorted this stock today? No. I got hopeful because of all the selling pressure we saw yesterday, SMCI being investigated. Oh, okay, this thing could potentially actually get a lot worse before it gets better. So that's why I forced the trade. I was hoping for something to happen, and hope is the worst edge you can have in this market, right? Because it leads you to believe that something is going to happen that it never actually has to happen today. And that's when I decided to take the short. So I took a terrible entry, and when I began to see that this thing was selling off, I thought there was going to be a break of pattern. I saw that this thing was pulling on back, a potential break of pattern if it breaks below the moving average. Believe it or not, my dumb butt entered short here. It's clear as day that could have been an ascending support, that the SMCI was still bullish. But I got ahead of myself. And, if this thing would have actually broken below the moving average and actively sold off, that would have been a different story. We didn't even surpass previous lows. And I opened up short here. So guess what happened? It began to recover. I paid the price. I then cut losses. It sells off again. It begins to consolidate. I get hopeful. I open short again. It goes against me. That's where the revenge trading comes in. That's where the emotions start to fill me with anger. Because now I'm like, how did I make the same dumb mistake twice in a row? And again, it's a very simple mistake that can lead to thousands of dollars, especially when you trade with hundreds of thousands of dollars. So very simple setup that I could have, focused on today. I give the market the time that it needs to paint its picture. So very easy. I let this thing run up, identify its resistance, identify its support. It's an ascending support. It's a horizontal resistance. It goes back to retest. I see that it was there. I could have opened up short, added more, bought to cover at this ascending support. That within itself would have made me over $4,000. I would have been very grateful for the Friday. It runs back up. I could have re-entered if I wanted to, open up short again and make money on the retracement, see consolidation, buy to cover, play it safe. It runs back up again, and I could have also opened up short. The biggest thing is not to trade when I want to, but to trade when it actually makes sense, when the opportunity is presenting itself. There's an obvious resistance range here. There's an obvious ascending support here. So why would I jump in short at the potential support where it could recover? I couldn't give you an answer other than I got hopeful. There's no excuse. I can't blame anyone else. It's me. It was a very simple mistake, and I just wanted to recap my day because that's what I did with my trading journal today of what I can do better next time. No hope, wait for confirmation, watch your position size, and truly allow that opportunity to present itself. I got too excited because of how my performance was yesterday, where every trade I took was going exactly according to plan, if not exceeded my expectation. And this is a great reminder that my trade from yesterday has nothing to do with my trade today. Every single trade, when you open it, is individually unique within itself. You need to make sure that it meets your criteria. You need to make sure that your risk to reward ratios are met, and you need to make sure that you are not trading based off of hope and actually waiting for your opportunity to present itself. So nonetheless, again, I hope to see you for our live trading session on Monday. I do trade live every single morning. Whenever it is that you are ready to tune on in, it's the second link in the description down below. And I do want to remind you, prices will be going up October 1st. So the best time to sign up is now. Appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.